So first thing that you should do when you do product design or any three-dimensional object design for manufacture is even if you are doing concept modeling, it's actually good to set up your units um, and then also set up the grid so that it relates to the scale and dimensions of your object. So under preferences, just go to construction options. This I'm using the right mouse button, by the way. Just go to preference, constructions options. Just go to units, linear, and choose the main sub and position of units to be all inches. In this case, we're doing furniture design for this example. So inches is a good choice of units, and just reset the grid so that the grid reflects the units that you have chosen here. Just close that. And next thing is that you do have to set up the grid as a separate step. So grids are under. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally closed the palette. I took the palette away so that it's folded away here. So just open that up with this little thing here. Um, so that was a left mouse click. So just use your right mouse click for all the menus. So under construction, you can see that there is a grid preset, and just go to the option box on the right here, and this will open up the grid setup box. And each grid unit here, you want it to be the unit that you are um, that you have chosen, and these are the subdivisions for each grid that you have. So let's say, for example, if you want every grid to be 1 inch, and you want four subdivisions, that will give you every 1/4 inch to be subdivided. So if you do that, you will see this, and now I will rotate this view. I'll show you how to. I'll tell you in detail how to rotate views like this in another video. I'm getting closer to um, get a closer view of the grid so that you can see the grid. This is one grid unit here from here to here, and then there are four subdivisions. Now, it may not be so visible here. The default setting of these user interface color is not very visible. So I'm just going to go to the user colors interface, user colors, and set it up so that these grid, let's see, model and window color, the grid mesh. I'm going to make the grid mesh a little bit darker, so it's something like this here. So now you can see that every grid unit is more like darker in color. You can make it like very like bright color, like red color or so if you want, but usually I stay away from that. So make the grid unit a little bit darker, and I guess I can make the fine grid mesh should be a little bit darker as well. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that's more visible here. Okay, so in this case, I have set up the grid to be 1 inch from every grid unit, and then also four subdivisions, so that there is also a fine grid mesh for every 1/4 of an inch. Um, the other way to set up the grid is in our case we are using inches, and then if you do something like every 12 inches for one grid, but give it a 12 subdivisions. If you do that, what will happen is that you have a dark grid for every 12 inches, which is a 1 foot. And then you have smaller grid for every inch. So if you're doing something larger scale, like interior space, then every one grid is 1 foot. So if you just simply count, if you want 6 feet or something, you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like from here to here, that will be a 6 feet height and length and whatnot. So those are some of the things that you can do for unit setup, and then also grid setup to help you visualize your ideas.